Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 1. Our system is about cinema ticket booking system. This is our member are involved in the developing the project. Fatina Shuha binti Ramli, Ahmad Adami Muhammad Zakaria, Anissa binti Muhammad Zamri, and last one is Muhammad Amir Rashid bin Muhammad Nasir. I will explain about organization background first. So, Lotus 5 Star IOI Mall started its operation on 5 November 2011. Actually, this is a new branch cinema for Lotus 5 Star, which is in at Kulai Johor. Lotus 5 Star has a lot of business they have, which is food, beverage, healthcare, and so on. And Lotus 5 Star is a Lotus Group company specializing in the movie and cinema industry.
Now, let's go through to the Saran system description. Lotus 5 Star collect data using the old-fashioned way. Because of that, the method is inefficient and unsuitable for their Saran situation. So, what is the method they are be using? So, the first method is short-term data saving, and the second method is the company use a hard copy file to store the data. So, the project objective, the first one is to have a database that can handle store a variety of data from the Lotus 5 Star company. And the second is to have a database that allows modification to be made without affecting other business data. And lastly, is maintaining a database with a high level of security.
Our group business rules are based on ERD. The first one is each customer can make many transactions. Each transaction can be made for many tickets. The relationship for this is many to many. Hence, we need bridge, which is transaction table, to connect between customer table and ticket table. Next, the relationship for ticket table and voucher table is one to many. Furthermore, each ticket can get one voucher. Every voucher can be used for many tickets. Third is relationship between ticket table and staff table, which is one to many. Each ticket can be handled by one staff. Each staff can handle many tickets. Lastly, for the relationship between ticket table and add-on table is one to many. Every ticket can be included with many add-on. Each add-on can contain one ticket.
Okay, next, this is the data dictionary that you can see. We have 8 entities, so we have 8 table name for each entity. So this is the data dictionary about our project. So this is the table for ticket, add-on, staff, transaction, customer, member, non-member, and the last one is voucher. Okay, I will explain about complete rational schema. For ticket, primary key for ticket is ticket code, and foreign key for ticket is staff ID and voucher code. So next, for add-on, primary key for add-on is add-on code, and foreign key for add-on is ticket code. So for staff ID as a primary key. Next is transaction. Primary key for transaction is PK and ticket code. And foreign key for transaction 2 is customer ID and ticket code. So this is known as bridge table. We already used the bridge table. So that's why this is combination of primary key and foreign key. So next is customer. For primary key for customer is cus ID. For member, same goes to transaction. We have bridge. So for PK and FK for member and non-member is cast ID. So the last one is voucher. Primary key for voucher is voucher code.
So I will continue with database declaration. In database declaration, I will show you all of the entities that we have developed in our system in order to make our system run smoothly. So we have a total of 8 entities, which are ticket, add-on, staff, transactions, customer, members, and members, which stands for non-members, and the last one is voucher. So I will explain one by one for each entities. I will show you how we develop the table and also how we display the sample of output. So we will start with ticket entity, which is our main entity since our system is all about ticket booking system. So in ticket entity, we have a total of 10 attributes, including primary key and 2 foreign keys. So in ticket entity, the primary key is ticket code, and for the foreign key is staff ID in order to connect ticket entity with staff entity. And then the second one, the second foreign key is voucher code that is being used to connect a ticket entity with voucher entity. So this is the sample of output for ticket entity. Next, moving on to the second entity, which is add-on entity. In add-on entity, we have a total of 6 attributes, including 1 primary key and 1 foreign key. So for add-on entity, the primary key is add-on code and the foreign key is ticket code in order to connect add-on entity with ticket entity. So this is the sample of output for add-on entity. Next, we will take a look at the third entity, which is staff entity. So it's the same as before. We have primary key for staff, but in this case we have no foreign key. So in staff entity we have a total of 4 attributes, including 1 primary key, which is staff ID. So this is the sample of output for staff entity. Next, the fourth entity is transactions entity. So for transactions, we have a total of 5 attributes, including 1 primary key and 2 foreign keys. So in this case, we have 2 foreign keys and also 2 primary keys. This is not as the same as the previous entities because transactions is a composite entity, which is composite entity is being used to connect two entities that have many-to-many relationships. So this is the form of MySQL statement that we use to develop transactions entity as the composite entity. So the primary key is cast ID and ticket code. The foreign key is also cast ID and ticket code. So this is the sample of output for transactions entity. Next, moving on to the next entity, we have customer entity. So for customer entity, we have a total of 5 attributes, including 1 primary key without any foreign key. So in customer entity, we have the primary key, which is cast ID. So this is the sample of output for customer entity. Next, we have members entity. So members entity is actually a disjoint under the entity of customer. So this is the MySQL statement that are being used to develop table of members. So we have a total of 2 attributes, including 1 primary key and 1 foreign key. So in this case, the primary key and the foreign key is the same, which is cast ID, because members is a disjoint from customers. So either the customers have members or they are non-members. So it is a disjoint system that is being used in our ticket booking system. So this is the sample of output for members entity. Next, we will take a look at the non-members entity, which is n-members entity, that is basically using the same concept of members entity, which is we have 2 attributes and 1 primary key with 1 foreign key. So as I said before, for this joint, the primary key and the foreign key is the same, which is cast ID. So this is the sample of output for non-members entity. Next, we will take a look at the last entity in our system. So it is voucher entity. In voucher entity, we have a total of only 3 attributes with 1 primary key. So in voucher entity, the primary key is voucher code. So this is the sample of output for voucher entity.
Okay, next, I will explain about SQL statement. We have 4 SQL statement, which is simple SQL statement, a simple SQL query, retrieving data from multiple table, scalar function and arithmetic, or column function and grouping, and the last one is sub query. So we start from simple SQL query first. So for query first, list all the table about ticket, which is data about movie ticket, time, hall, seat number, and so on. So our command is select all from ticket. So this is the output. Okay, next, this query 2 list all the transaction total that customer bought the ticket to be sort by the trans total ascending. So our command is select cast ID, ticket code, trans time, trans date, trans total from transaction, and order by trans total ascending, which is ASC as known as ascending. So this is the output. Okay, for query 3, list of the staff that is assigned need to take shift on night. So for our command is select all from staff where staff shift is equal to night, that we want to choose night only. So this is the output. Okay, for query 4, list the customer of date of birth between 1 January 1989 until 31 December 2000. So for our command is select cast ID, cast name, cast DOB, cast email, cast phone number from customer. So where cast DOB between that we want to choose. So this is the output. So for the query 5, list the staff name that begin with the letter A on the second letter. So our command is select staff ID, staff name, staff name, staff phone number, and staff sheet from staff, where staff name like underscore A percentage. So this is the output.
I will continue with my SQL statement, but this one is for retrieving data from multiple tables in order to prove that our system can run smoothly and also can provide an accurate data. So we already prepared 3 queries under the topic of retrieving data from multiple tables. So for the first query, we need to display ticket code, transactions time, transactions date, and also transactions total for the Avengers movie. So we use this MySQL statement, which is start with select all the attributes that the statement asks for, and then we use equal sign for ticket movie equals to Avengers, because we only want to display the data for Avengers movie. So this is the output that we obtain after we run this MySQL statement. So as we can see, the ticket code, the transactions time, transactions date, and also the transactions total are all for Avengers movie. It shows that our system can provide an accurate data based on what we run in the MySQL statement. And then for the second query, we need to display ticket code, ticket hall, ticket seat number, and ticket time for customer who choose popcorns as their add-on food. And then the result must be sorted by ticket time. So this is our MySQL statement, which is basically the same. Start with select and then from and then where. And then in this case, we also use equal signs for add-on type food equals to popcorns. And then we use order by ticket time to sorted the results by ticket time in ascending order. So this is the output that we obtain after running the MySQL statement. As we can see, we have ticket code, ticket hall, ticket seat num, and ticket time only for customer who choose popcorns as their add-on food. And then we can see the ticket time is being sorted in ascending order. And then for our last query, the third query of retrieving data from multiple tables, we need to display customer ID, customer name, transactions time, ticket time, and also transactions time for total of transactions that exceeds 20 ringgit. So we use this MySQL statement that include the greater than sign. So we use trans total greater than 20 because we only want the data for total of transactions that greater than 20. So this is the output that we obtain. As we can see, it have cast ID, cast name, trans time, ticket time, and also trans total. So in trans total, we can see that all of the trans total is greater than 20, which is accurate with what we want. So that's all for retrieving data from multiple tables.
The first query for grouping is to display total customer for each movie and label it as total underscore cast. The way to retrieve output is by select t.ticket underscore movie, count column function as total underscore cast since the question required to label it as total underscore cast. From ticket T because it is from ticket table, group by ticket underscore movie, order by ticket underscore movie, semicolon. The next query for grouping is to display the total price for all ticket types for adult and both. In addition, sort the ticket price ascending. The way to display the output for this query is select ticket underscore type, sum bracket ticket underscore price as total price to sum up total of the price for each ticket types and from ticket. Because retrieve data from ticket table, group by ticket underscore type, order by ticket underscore price, ASC. Since the question required to sort the ticket price ascending. Lastly, for grouping query is to display ticket movie, average ticket price for each movie, and round off the average ticket price to two position and sort by ticket price ascending. To retrieve the data is by select ticket underscore movie, AVG bracket ticket underscore price as average underscore movie to calculate the average of ticket price for each movie, round bracket average ticket price, comma 2, the number 2 is to round off as 2 position as rounded underscore average underscore movie. From ticket is to select data from ticket table, group by ticket underscore movie, order by ticket underscore price, ASC, since the question asks to sort the ticket price ascending.
So now let's go through to the subqueries and maintaining data in our project. So first of all, the question asks to display all vouchers with the highest amount only. So we need to select all attribute in voucher table and then we need to state the condition where amount is the highest, which is select max amount. So it is from where? It is from voucher. So the sample will display as the figure below. So this is the example when we run the statement in MySQL. Next, second, display customer ID, ticket code, and total transaction. And the total transaction must be higher than the average of the transaction. So we need to select customer ID, ticket code, and trans total from transaction table. And then we need to state the condition where the trans total is higher than average of trans total. So is it from where? Is it from transaction? So the sample of output will display as below. So this is demonstration for the second question. So the third is list all voucher with a minimum amount of voucher only. So we have to select voucher code, expired date, and amount. This is from where? This is from voucher table. And then we need to state the condition which amount is the minimum. So it's from where? This is from voucher 2. So the output will show as the figure below. And this is the demonstration for the third question. Next. So for the fourth question, list staff ID, name, phone number, and shift that exists in the ticket table. So how to do this? First of all, we need to select attribute staff ID until the staff shift is from where? This is from staff table, and then we need to state the condition. So we need to write where staff ID in bracket select staff ID from ticket. So the sample will show as the figure below. This is the demonstration for the fourth question. For the next question, display customer ID, ticket code, and the total transaction that do not exist in the members table. So we need to select customer ID, ticket code, trans total from transaction table, and then we need to state the condition where cast ID not in bracket, select cast ID from member where cast ID is not null. And the sample output will show as figure below. This is the demonstration for the question 5. Figure below. For the last question, list ticket code, voucher code, and amount of all voucher which not from hall 3. So we need to select T ticket code, S voucher code, and S amount from ticket T and voucher S. And then we need to state the condition where T voucher code equals to S dot voucher code. And then we need also to state the condition where S voucher code is not in bracket. Select voucher code from ticket where ticket hall is equal to 3. And the sample we show as the figure below. And last but not least, this is the demonstration for the question 6. And that's all from me. Thank you.